Yesterday I've been discussing this huge formation for Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, and we now see a breakout of this formation, a retest and a nice uptrend for Bitcoin. So let's see if today Bitcoin can continue the bullish uptrend. In today's video I'm going to have a look at a lot of different time frames for Bitcoin with you, because there are a lot of interesting formations showing. So this is something you don't want to miss. There's also a lot of interesting news coming into the market and a lot of data which I'm going to show you in this video. I will also have a look at the two altcoins Chainlink and Injective protocol, but about that later in the video. So please don't forget to slap up that like button, follow me on my other socials, and let's dive right into the charts. So yesterday I've been discussing this huge formation on the 1 hour time frame with you on my socials and in my latest video, and we saw a huge price compression of Bitcoin, and we saw a lot of touch points on the top side as resistance, and also on the lower side we saw multiple touch points as support. And finally yesterday we saw a breakout of this formation, a retest of the previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there we saw a nice big bounce to the top side. So this was a perfect trade to make, and I already got a lot of people in my DMs messaging me with their profits. So this was a beautiful trade to make on Bitcoin, and I hope you took this trade together with me, because I love to see people getting profits. So this could be a very interesting place to see more upsides from here for Bitcoin, because in the last few days we saw a lot of downside happening. So let's see if Bitcoin can see a beautiful trend reversal and more topside in the coming days. And yesterday the Bitcoin ETFs had another negative day again. We saw a total outflow of $54 million, so this is a little bit bearish. BlackRock was buying again after their day of selling, but the Fidelity and the ARK Invest Bitcoin ETF were selling yesterday. So this was causing a little bit of a bearish effect on the price of Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin is back at the $18.5 billion of total inflow, so this is still very bullish of course. But let's see if we can see another spike to the top side, and that of course will pump up the price of Bitcoin. And also yesterday the Ethereum ETFs had some data coming in. We saw BlackRock was buying again and Grayscale was selling Ethereum. So in total we saw a net outflow of $3.2 million, so this was having a little bit of a bearish effect on the price of Ethereum. So let's see what this Friday can bring us, because for Ethereum we are already seeing a mixed week. So let's see if we can see a positive Friday. And this week I've been discussing this beautiful chart with you for Bitcoin on a daily time frame. We saw Bitcoin was creating lower highs and lower lows, and we were in this downtrend on the daily time frame. But we also can see that we now are going to create a huge trend reversal, and if this huge horizontal support is going to hold for Bitcoin and we can see a bounce to the top side, then Bitcoin is going to make a higher low play, and this could of course be a very interesting bounce from here, because then we can just continue the bullish uptrend to the top side and there's nothing to panic about. Because earlier this week we saw a lot of panicking coming into the market because of the potential World War III happening, but for now we can potentially see a higher low play, and of course we want to also see this previous high getting gained, and that we're coming back to this next horizontal resistance level. So we are already seeing a little bit of a bounce from this level. So let's see if Bitcoin can pump up the price even more and create a new higher high in the coming days. And yesterday I've also been discussing this huge bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame. We saw lower lows occurring on the chart, but we also saw higher lows occurring on the RSI chart. So this was indicating a huge trend reversal for Bitcoin. And we already can see that the bullish divergence is playing out like clockwork, because this higher low structure on the RSI chart indicates that the selling pressure is cooling off, and that we're going to see a little bit more buying pressure coming into the market. And that's exactly what's happening for Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart. So let's see if this bullish divergence can even play out more, and that we're going to see more buying pressure coming into the market, and that will of course pump up the price of Bitcoin in the coming days. And this horizontal chart with multiple resistance and support levels is also very interesting to see. I'm always looking at this huge horizontal support and resistance levels on this daily time frame, and we can now see that this huge support level is holding strong. So let's see if Bitcoin can come back to this previous resistance and maybe break it to the top side again, and that of course will have a bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin. And we are still in this beautiful uptrend on the daily time frame. So let's see if Bitcoin can bounce from this level and come back to the $64,000. But of course there's also a bear scenario, and that Bitcoin is going to break below the support area, and then we have to aim for lower targets around the $58,000. But as you can see, we were in this uptrend, and every time we broke the resistance we saw a beautiful retest. But after breaking this resistance we didn't test it as support yet, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So if this support is holding strong, we can just consider it as a bullish retest and aim for higher targets. because we are still in this beautiful uptrend on the daily time frame. So let's see if Bitcoin can just see a continuation of the bullish momentum. And the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is back at the stages of fear. And last week we saw Bitcoin in the stages of greed. We were at 61 and now we're back at 41, so we are in the stages of fear. And every time Bitcoin is going to be in stages of fear, I'm buying more Bitcoin because I'm always selling in greed and I'm always buying more when we're in stages of fear. So this is the way I'm making money in crypto, because when a lot of people are fearing the market, you want to buy more Bitcoin, and when the market is back in greed, you want to take a bit of your profits. And on the daily chart, we can also see this huge broadening wedge for Bitcoin is unfolding. We are seeing a lot of touch points on the top side as resistance, and also on the downside we see multiple touch points as support. And every time we touch this huge support area on the lower side, I was been saying to you that I'm going to buy more Bitcoin, and that is especially what I did. So from these lows, we can already see a lot of bounces and that we are seeing more spikes to the top side. But we also can see that we didn't come back to this huge topside resistance. So let's see if Bitcoin can even come back to this huge topside resistance. And from here we will see a lot of price interactions, because this is a very strong level. So if Bitcoin comes back to this level, we could either see a break to the top side and a continuation of the bullish uptrend, or again we are going to see a huge rejection. And these of course are the two scenarios for Bitcoin. But we can also see that we are going to see more sideways action in the coming weeks. But if this huge formation is going to break bullish, then it will send us to new all-time highs. So if Bitcoin is going to break out of this huge formation, we can see a lot of interesting horizontal resistance areas coming into play. And these are the resistance areas for Bitcoin that we need to break in order to create that new all-time high. So for now, we gained this previous high, and this indicates that we're still in a bullish uptrend to the top side. So let's see if Bitcoin can create another higher high. And of course, if we're going to come back to this level, we also want to gain this high. And after that, we want to gain these highs. And that, of course, will be very bullish for Bitcoin. So let's see if we can just continue the bullish uptrend and create more similar price action like this. And that, of course, will pump up the new highs. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Chainlink. A couple of weeks ago, Chainlink was breaking out of this huge falling wedge formation, which I was talking about a lot on my socials. And we saw that we are coming to this huge horizontal resistance area, and I've been warning you that this resistance might be a little bit too strong. And if we have a look on the chart, we can see that this horizontal resistance is very strong for now, because it acted as support and resistance a lot in the past for Chainlink. So for now, this resistance area is a little bit too strong, so we saw a rejection. But of course, we are still in this little bit of an uptrend on the daily time frame. So let's see if Chainlink can come back to this level and eventually see a breakout to the top side, a retest of the formation to turn it into support. And from there, we can aim for higher targets, because the falling wedge channel has a breakout target of the top side of the formation, and that will be around the $19. And currently, we are at the $11, so that's almost a 2x from here. So there's still a lot of upside potential for Chainlink in the coming days. And after the breakout of this formation, we already tested this previous resistance area as support, and from there we saw a huge spike to the top side, and I was discussing this trade with you. So I hope you took this trade together with me, and let's see if Chainlink can hold this level and see more topside in the coming days. And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Injective protocol. I made a post on September 12th that we possibly can see a huge breakout of this falling wedge formation to the top side, and that we were going to see a retest of the previous resistance as support, and from there aim for higher targets. And if we then have a look at the chart, we can see that Injective perfectly made this beautiful breakout, a retest of the resistance to turn it into support, and currently we are retesting this resistance as support. So if this support is going to hold strong, we can aim for higher targets, and then of course the top side of the formation will be confluent with the breakout target, but that will also be very confluent with a lot of touch points in the past as support and resistance, and this level would be a very interesting level to take some profits in. So at this retest I just bought more Injective, and let's see if we can come back to this huge resistance area where I will take my profits. And from the point of this bullish retest, you could potentially make a 70% increase to the breakout target of the top side of this falling wedge formation. So this is a very beautiful trade to make, and let's see if this is going to be happening in the coming days for Injective. And let me know in the comments if you also took this trade together with me, and if you still hold Injective in your portfolio. So please give a like if you find this video useful, follow me on my other socials, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.